Coming up on Look Today, well, SPAC announces its 2018 classical season. We've got a lot of details. Plus, Lake George Association receives two very important grants. I've got those details. And the results are in for the 20th annual Chowdafest in Saratoga Springs. I've got those details, but you're going to have to wait. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome, everyone. Yes, it's Monday. I'm J. Hood Jackson. This is Look Today. On tonight's program, I sit down with Timothy Widener. He's Executive Director, Chapman Historical Museum in Glens Falls, and he's here to talk about the museum's current exhibition and upcoming events. I also sit down with Nancy Bambera. Now, she's Vice President of DZ Restaurants in Saratoga, and we're joined by John Carr. He's the owner of the Adirondack Pub and Brewery in Lake George, and they're here to talk about Governor Cuomo's recommendation to eliminate the minimum wage tip credit for the service industry. This is part one of my interview with them. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, Saratoga Performing Arts Center has announced its 2018 classical season. Now, this year's schedule will include New York City Ballet, Philadelphia Orchestra, the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center. And new to this year's programming, a feature presentation, the National Ballet of Cuba. Now, SPAC is just one of 5 U.S. locations the Cuban Ballet will visit on its 2018 tour. Now, the ballet, by the way, slated for 3 performances, including Alicia Alonso's Giselle. And that's happening June 6, 7, and 8. Now, the president of SPAC, Elizabeth Sobel, will be here for an interview this Wednesday, and we're going to discuss the classical season and all the exciting events coming up at SPAC in 2018. All right, in other news, Lake George Association has received 2 very important grants. The grants total over $20,000, and they're from the Lake Champlain Basin Program. Now, the money will be used for water quality projects and initiatives against the spread of invasive species. Now, one of the projects includes capturing and treating storm water runoff. Now, we spoke to Lake George Association Executive Director Walt Linder.
Sure. Stormwater runoff is by far the single largest producer of nutrients and harmful things for Lake George, sediment, pollution that all goes into the lake, even more so than septic systems and other types of pollution. One of the things that we can do is help homeowners, help homeowner associations, help municipalities by putting some of that stormwater directly into the ground and keeping it from flowing overland into the lake.
Congratulations, Walt. Good news for Lake George. Switching from news to weather. How about that snow? We first heard it was going to be a little bit of snow mixed with rain. If you live in Glens Falls like my wife and I do, it was close to 10 inches. Well, the skies cleared today, and we did have some sunshine. However, let's see what's happening for the week. We're going to head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a more detailed look at our weather.
Thanks, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponster with your first look weather update here on Look TV. Let's take a look. We have high pressure dominating much of the East Coast, but temperatures are going to be pretty chilly tonight as we will cool down to about 12 in Albany, 14 in Scranton, 9 in Burlington, Vermont, and 10 in Buffalo. More locally, we'll be in the lower teens from Saratoga Springs to Fort Edward, about mid-teens, 14 or so in Whitehall. Glens Falls will be down to about 12. And we'll see Johnsburg and Parsville struggling to stay in the lower teens with a few snow showers and increasing clouds. South wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour can make it feel like about 0 degrees. Few snow showers, 29 on your Tuesday. South wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wind chills about 10 as you walk out the door with more snow showers, a 20 to 30% coverage. 15 to 19 degrees air temps as you walk outside. We'll see more snow on Wednesday. You could see a guaranteed shot with a high of 25, overnight low of 11. Mainly cloudy skies for Thursday and Friday with mid-20s for highs. But look at the overnight lows. We're back in the single digits as a secondary cold front comes through. We'll see a 40% chance of more snow on Saturday and winds generally out of the west. That was your first look weather update here on Look TV. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser. Now I send it back to you, Jesse.
Thanks very much, Clarence. All right, back to the news. Well, 20th annual Chowdafest took place in Saratoga Springs over this past weekend. Now, as you know, many restaurants, practically all of them, participate in this event every year. Well, the results are in. You ready? Thirsty Owl won People's Choice Award and Best on Broadway. Now, this is the second year in a row that they've won the People's Choice Award. Now, we stopped by the Thirsty Owl today and we spoke to the manager, Josh Cupp.
It's a really neat time and it really drives business. The Saratoga Convention and Tourism Bureau does a great job with that, and we're just lucky and happy to participate. And winning back-to-back People's Choice Awards, it's just kind of icing on the cake, really. Just fun to see so many people out and having fun on a cold Saturday, the day before the Super Bowl, and stretching those legs and walking around and eating some chowder. It's great.
Congratulations, Josh, and everybody at Thirsty Owl. By the way, they've got a terrific wine list. Up next, I sit down with Timothy Widener. He's Executive Director, Chapman Historical Museum in Glens Falls. He's here to talk about the museum's current exhibition and upcoming events. And I also sit down with Nancy Bambera. Now, she's VP, DZ Restaurants in Saratoga. And we're joined by John Carr. He's the owner of the Adirondack Pub and Brewery in Lake George. And they're here to talk about Governor Cuomo's recommendation to eliminate the minimum wage tip credit for the service industry. Is part one of my interview with them. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea. How about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. It's Monday, so we like to look ahead. Big week for us. I mentioned earlier, but Elizabeth Sobel, the president of SPAC, will be here. An interview I always look forward to, and we're going to get into all the exciting stuff that's going on at SPAC. I think that's Wednesday. Ronald Kim is coming in. He's a candidate for the 21st Congressional District. Tamara Flanders is coming in. That must mean that the flurry is about to happen. That is one great event, by the way, the flurry. Dance flurry is what I'm referring to. And John Coppola is coming in. He's an expert on the opioid crisis. And as you know, we're always searching for more information we can give you about this crisis and what you can do if you're affected by it. Important stuff. All right, tonight on Look TV, it's Beyond the Headlines and Play-by-Play. We're getting close to winding up our basketball season, so catch these games. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.